Everybody's going crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. See, I'm just free and school. That's the way it should be. You're good night. Oh, I sail the seven seas, but you'll never find her. Men who wanna die quite like me.
Well, I'm not on my bike this morning. I've come out for a walk with the dogs and Susie near where we live. This is Baddesley Clinton. It's a moated manor house. Hopefully you can see all about the drive there. Absolutely lovely place this. It's owned by the National Trust nowadays. But the history connected with this particular house and the whole of this area really in Warwickshire is fascinating. I mean, the more you delve, the more history you find. It's lovely. But like I said, this place owned by the National Trust now has been for quite a long time. But back in the 15th and early 16th century, this was owned by a chap called Nicholas Broome. He was Lord of the Manor in this area. And there's some amazing stories. There's ghost stories and all sorts attached to him. But one of the best stories, which is true actually, is he came home one day to the house here and caught his wife embracing the local priest. There's a little pathway that goes just up, heading south from the house. It's only a short walk up through the woods there, and that's the family church. And the priest from that church he caught with his wife cuddling in the library, and he took his sword out and he killed him on the spot. Killed him right there. Legend has it that there's a blood stain on the floor of the library, and it's been there ever since, all these hundreds of years. There is a stain on the floor, and it is blood, amazingly, but it was tested a while ago, and it came from they think it's from a later period. So who knows who that blood belonged to. But Nicholas Broome was an interesting chap for all kinds of reasons. He was married 3 times. That particular wife died. I don't know if the circumstances were suspicious. There doesn't seem to be any history written about what happened to the poor girl, but certainly in later life, before Nicholas Broome died, he had some kind of religious enlightenment and decided that he'd got to make amends. I'll get to that in a bit, because we'll walk up to the church and I'll do a bit more of a film there for you. But he was married 3 times, and his third wife that did survive him, he married in 1511. Her name was Letitia Catesby, and if Catesby's surname is familiar, that's for good reason, because of course Robert Catesby, who was a descendant of hers, was the main instigator of the Gunpowder Plot, which I've talked about a lot. I'm always chasing up Gunpowder Plot histories. Partially because this part of Warwickshire is, enshrined in Gunpowder Plot stories and histories, and a few other reasons too, which I'll come to in other films. So she was a Catesby, and that's how the Broome family came to be related to the Catesby family. One of Nicholas Broome's and Letitia Catesby's children married into a family called the Ferrers, and Sir Edward Ferrers, who was Nicholas Broome's son-in-law, took over the ownership of this place after Nicholas Broome died, and that's how the Ferrers family came to own this. And they owned it right up until recently, and they're still in connection with this house to this day. Again, there's Ferrers up in the church there. We're going to take a look at those in a few moments, and I'll talk to you in a sec. this is Baddesley Clinton Church. It's just, like I said, just a short walk up from the house. Look down through the trees here, you can probably see the side of the house there. So it's only a short walk, you know, if you come for the day and have a look. Yeah, like I was saying, Nicholas Broome, who killed the priest from this very church because he caught him with his wife, later in life, it seems that he wanted to try and make amends. And part of that, I mean, he was tried for it, but in order to get away with murder, literally get away with murder, he agreed to have this tower added. Late 1400s. This is the main body of the church here is earlier. It's much earlier. And as well as adding the tower, he added an extra story. Well, not a story, but he enlarged it upwards. This church. And if you look carefully, you can see a difference in the stonework where it suddenly changes just here, and then from there up it's different stonework. It's because he raised the roof, basically. Nicholas Broome raised the roof. And as well as that, in a very strange move, Nicholas Broome also left instruction that when he died, he wanted to be buried upright inside the doorway. This is the original doorway. There was a new one put in when the tower was built around the corner there, but this is the original, and this is where he's buried. Unfortunately, the church is still locked up because of COVID. But if you come and visit this, you can usually get in here and it's open. Remove the mat that's on the floor, and you'll find a stone, basically a gravestone. And he is buried upright, so that people, as they walked in through the door, would walk over his head. Strange thing, never come across that before. Just unusual features to look out for when you come visit this place. And to this day, people still go in and out of that very door, walking over Nicholas Broome's head. I think perhaps he's, I don't know, does that make up for murdering a priest? I'm not sure. Incidentally, the house down there, Baddesley Clinton itself, as I said, Nicholas Broome, his third wife, married Letitia Catesby, and therefore the house of Baddesley Clinton becomes embroiled in the Gunpowder Plot. You know, another 100 years later, because we're looking at the early 1600s, and the Ferrers family were connected with the Catesby family. Ferrers lived here, Catesby had lived here. But at the time of the Gunpowder Plot, the Ferrers family rented the house out to a couple of sisters called Vaux, V-A-U-X, and they were Catholics. And they had priest holes made in the house there, Baddesley Clinton, and they used to hide Jesuit and Catholic priests in there from marauding Protestants. And that's how they came to be embroiled in the Gunpowder Plot. And of course, Robert Catesby himself was born just, let's see, what would it be? Perhaps 3 miles as the crow flies from this spot we're at now. Interesting. And really, this part of Warwickshire, there's so much history just in this little area. I'm lucky I live here, especially as I'm not riding motorcycles at the moment. I can still make 1 or 2 videos just coming out for a dog walk, which is great. Anyhow, if you get a chance to come to Baddesley Clinton, spend a few hours here, if you can. If you're in the National Trust, go and walk around the house, because that's absolutely brilliant. You get to see the priest holes and everything. If you're not and you don't want to pay, you can come and visit the church here for free. Of course, it's open normally if we hadn't got the COVID thing at the moment. And it really is, it's a wonderful place. Come here most evenings with the dogs, very peaceful. Anyhow, that's all from me for now. And I'll talk to you soon. All the best. Bye.